Hi there, Joe Rawlinson, Dad's Guide to Twins.com. What do you do when both of your babies are crying at the same time? I asked that question to several of your fellow twin parents over on my Facebook, facebook.com/Dad's Guide to Twins. And there were some great insights from parents just like you. I want to share some of their tips with you, as well as what worked for us when our twins were little babies. Number one, remember that it is okay to help each of your babies one at a time. If they're both crying, they're both needing something, it's not the end of the world if you have to take care of one baby and then change your attention and take care of the next baby. This is where you need to learn to prioritize and triage which of your babies needs help the most. It could be the one that's crying the loudest. It could be the one that you know needs the most attention. It could be the one that is closest to you. There's many ways to triage and prioritize taking care of your twins. You may have a twin that is very easily soothed very quickly. Maybe you take care of that baby first and then turn your attention to the other twin who may need a little more attention and time to calm down. So rule number one of helping your babies when they're both crying is remember it's okay to take care of one at a time. Tip number two is distraction. Now, the mighty powerful distraction technique works at all ages with children. If they're crying over something, you distract them. If they want to do something and you don't want them to do that, distract them. If they're fighting with their sibling, distract them. Always the solution can be distraction. So if they're crying, it may be possible to distract them from whatever they're sad about, and they can focus on something that would make them happy. It could be a change of venue, move them from one room to another. It could be a change of toys, a change of scenery. It could be time to eat. It could be a TV show. It could be who's playing with them, a sibling versus the twin, or mom versus dad. Any of those changes could help reduce the amount of crying that you're seeing. So remember, distraction and change of venues are absolutely okay to help eliminate the crying. Tip number three, remember that it is okay, absolutely okay, perfectly fine to let your babies cry. Sometimes we want to just rush right in and solve the problem for our children. And what happens is if we do that every time, the children know to expect that, and they're not able to have time to self-soothe, to figure things out for themselves, to just calm down or let the crying run its course. It is okay to let your babies cry, particularly when you've got two crying at the same time. One of them is going to keep crying when you're paying attention and taking care of the other child. It's just natural. It's going to happen. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay, and it's going to happen every single day. Most times you'll know why your babies are crying. Are they hungry? Maybe they need a diaper change. Maybe they're sleepy. Maybe they're too hot. Maybe they're too cold. You know the reasons as a parent through observation and through knowing your children as the days and the weeks go on. So if you can identify what is causing them to cry, and you know you've addressed all these issues, they're not hungry, they're not tired, they've got a clean diaper, you know, they may just need to cry it out for a little bit. And that's okay for them to learn how to do that, but it's also okay for you, for your own sanity. If you're constantly trying to figure out how to stop them from crying, it's an impossible task, and it's going to drive you crazy and wear you out. So at times, it's okay to let your babies cry. Okay, tip number four is to physically soothe them. When our babies were crying, we love to swaddle them back up in their blankets, get them nice and cozy in that little baby burrito. That would oftentimes calm them down very well. Other times, put them in a bouncy seat or a swing or something that would give them some gentle rocking motion to help soothe them. If you can wrap them both up in blankets, swaddle them, and do a double football hold, that may give them the relaxation and the soothing that they need to calm them down. And speaking of swaddling and other baby gear, let's talk about tip number five, and that is use baby gear to your advantage. Particularly when you are alone with your twins, you need all the help you can get. Use that bouncy seat, use the stroller, use the crib, use the baby wearing gear, the sling that you have. Use all that stuff to your advantage, because you can hold one baby, or you can soothe one baby, or have a machine soothing a baby in like a swing while you change the diaper or feed the other baby or give special attention to whoever's crying the loudest. You're not a bad parent if you can't get them to calm down just by holding them or cuddling with them. That's not the case. They just may need a little extra time to calm down and be relaxed, and that's okay. Okay, the next tip is cuddle with your babies. Sometimes your babies, they just want to be with you. They just want to be next to you. They feel secure, they feel warm, they feel safe when they are right next to you. Now, baby cuddles are awesome, right? Cuddling with your kids is awesome. And when they're crying and screaming, sometimes it's really hard to get excited about that as a parent, but that may just be the medicine that they need. So don't look past the cuddles as a possible solution to your children's woes. Okay, the next tip is very practical from the trenches of your fellow twin parents. Sometimes your babies cry and they cry and they cry and they just don't stop. And that starts to get on you. It starts to get in your head, in your ears, and it starts to wear you down. It's perfectly okay for you to get earplugs. Earplugs are an amazing thing. They're used like when you're out with a chainsaw or yard work or construction. Those earplugs block out the sounds that you don't want to hear that may not be safe for you. And sometimes those baby screams are not safe decibel levels for your ears. It's okay to wear earplugs. Maybe you're taking turns with your spouse and you need to sleep at night, put in the earplugs. Maybe your babies are screaming so loudly and you can't get them to calm down. Put in the earplugs. You can still keep an eye on them to make sure that they're fine. Put in the earplugs and get a break. And that leads me to another important tip for you when your babies are crying at the same time. And what are you supposed to do? It's okay for you to take a break from the screaming babies. It's okay for you to put them in a safe location, in their cribs, or in a pack and play. And it's okay for you to take a step out of the room so that you can take a deep breath. You can relax a little bit before you jump back in and try to take care of them. It's okay for you to step away for a few moments when your babies are screaming their heads off and you're not able to calm them down. Because otherwise you're going to run out of gas. You're going to run out of the energy you need, both physically and mentally, to take care of those babies. Okay, last but not least is if your babies are both crying, both screaming, and you're not sure what to do, you've tried all kinds of stuff and it's not working, it is absolutely okay for you just to sit down and cry with them. Just let it all out. Just have a big cry party. And that's okay. The older your children get and they start to see you crying, it'll start to impact them and wonder, hey, why am I crying if mom or dad are crying? Maybe I should just calm down and they'll feel better too. When your babies are really small and infants, you're full of emotions. Either you've been up and you're sleep deprived, you were up all night, or maybe mom is overcoming a C-section and has some postpartum stresses and depression. Just let it out. Let the emotions out. And that's okay to cry with your babies because it is overwhelming at times. But hopefully if you use some of these tips we've talked about today, it can make taking care of two crying babies a little bit easier for you next time that happens to you. If you've had some success getting your babies to calm down when they're both crying, maybe when you're by yourself at home, go ahead and share those with us in the comments so that your other fellow twin parents can learn from what's working for you in your home. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are interested in other tips and tricks for parents of twins, check out these other videos that will help you along your twin journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.